Thank you for joining me here today. I am Nurul Aisha Atini binti Abdul Manan, a Bachelor of Aviation Management student. I would like to talk about my integrated project. My title is Examination on the Impact of Industry 4.0 in the Midst of the Changes for job description and job evaluation. My presentation is divided into five chapters, which are the introduction, literature review, research methodology, results and discussion, and finally conclusion. Okay, let's move to the introduction. The development of technology replace job and requiring new advanced skills. Everything that points to a change in the structure and development of the job as a whole. Let me tell you the specific concept in my research, which is the Industry 4.0 in aviation industry. I am focusing in general of Industry 4.0. I didn't focus on only one technology, but in my questionnaire I did mention about the robotics, about the digital tools, because this is just a general perception of Industry 4.0. Since 2011, a new platform and complex dimension became known as the Industry 4.0. Let me sum up the revolution of Industry 4.0, which is at first the Industry 1.0 is the water steam power. The Industry 2.0 is the mass production, which using the electric power. Yes. Then the Industry 3.0, electronic and IT, and the last but not least, the 4.0, which cyber physical system, which include the IoT, Internet of Things, big data, smart factory, and so on. The job descriptions, here I am understand that job description is the job description will be used to classify the abilities, capabilities, the skills, and the experience required to perform roles, to establish the hiring requirements especially. And for the job evaluation, what I understand is the job worth, which measuring the efficiency of an employee makes a rational administrative decision. Here they allow the company to evaluate the performance of workers in many terms, and job evaluation actually help the company to to create and decide the employees' salaries if and the employees training and recruiting. In my perception, in the industry 4.0 will have a major impact on the process of human resource management. Actually, the human resource management needs to redefine their job and need to redo the job analysis in order to decide the job description and job evaluation. In introduction, I did mention 3 main points, which are problem statements, research question, and research objective. The problem statement is the emergence of Industry 4.0 give impact on the changes of job description and job evaluation. However, most workers are found either they are aware but they not really want to accept the technological changes, or they just not prepared for it. Here my study is whether or not to know the emergence of technologies give impact on the job description and job evaluation changes.
Okay, this is my research objective. First, to examine the relationship between the Industry 4.0 innovation and the job description changes. Then, to examine the relationship between the job evaluation changes. Next, we move to the research question. In this research, I only want to know what is the relationship between the Industry 4.0 innovation and the job description changes, and what is the relationship between the Industry 4.0 innovation and the job evaluation changes. Okay, this is my research framework. I have 3 variables. First, independent variables, and another 2 is the dependent variables. The independent variables is Industry 4.0 innovation industry, and my dependent variables are job description and job evaluation changes.
Next, I would like to move on to the chapter 2, which is literature review. In this part, I just mentioned the main research that I focus on. In this part, I write about the rise of Industry 4.0, which is the explanation on Industry 1.0 until Industry 4.0 itself.
Okay, this is the diagram about the four industrial revolution. First, Industry 4.0. First is Industry 1.0, the mechanization and the introduction of steam and water power. Industry 2.0, mass production that using electrical power. Industry 3.0, automated production, computers and IT system. And the last one, Industry 4.0, the smart factory autonomous system, IoT and machine learning. Here is some part in my literature review. The implication of Industry 4.0 in aviation to the workforce. Caruso states that the technological advancements is not a replacement for less skilled workers, but so far it has created effects that are still in place, achieved in the history of capitalism, such as increased efficiency. Then the impact of Industry 4.0 and human resource management. Here it states that the company with easy to change adapter will pass the challenge even before enter the competition. This is applied to the human resource. Next, the competencies and job profile in Industry 4.0. Actually, the competency is here is talking about the skills that needed in the Industry 4.0, especially for everything. But here is mentioned about the soft skill. Even for the technical and engineering jobs, they still needs the soft skill. Then the job description changes. Many researcher have looked into the effect of technology on the employment, and actually this is changes that the technology should support the trained workers, and the job description also should change in order to follow the trend. And next, the job evaluation changes. Actually, this is not the only the company responsibility to adapt with this. This is everyone a responsibility to aware with this kind of development.
Okay, let's move to the chapter 3, research methodology. Research methodology is the particular methods for defining, collecting, storing and evaluating the information. The main purpose, like I was saying before, the main purpose of my research is to know the relationship, how strong the relationship between Industry 4.0 and job description changes and job evaluation changes. I choose to collect the primary data for this study. I use the questionnaire that contains 4 sections. First section is demographic information, and second, third and fourth is the rating agreement, which I use the Likert scale. My scale is from 1 to 5, which is strongly disagree until strongly agree. I think the questionnaire is based on the framework. Okay, next, the process flow chart. This is my flow chart. First, I defining the aim and objective of the study. Here I start to do the ROT, research operational template in order to know the flow of my research, and I did have a, a framework, which in the framework I have three variables, one independent variables and another two is dependent variables. And my independent variables is industry 4.0 in the aviation, and my dependent variables are job description changes and job evaluation changes. Okay, next I use Microsoft Excel as my tool to perform the analysis, and for the results I do two tests for the results, which are reliability tests that I use Cronbach coefficient test. This is here I want to know the random error in my item statement, which is my questionnaire. And next, I also use the Pearson correlation test to know the relationship between the variables.
Okay, here the research methodology. The method I use is primary data. I use the quantitative. Secondary data, which is I find for the literature review. And that's the process flow chart. Start with define aim and objective, define target, construct the questionnaire, distribute questionnaire, transcribe and analyze data, results and conclusion. My target is the aviation workers, that I reach them via the social media. And this is the tools that I use, Microsoft Excel. And this is the test that I do for my data. Next, chapter 4, results and discussion.
Look at the results and discussion in the chapter 4. I like to talk about the demographic information, mean score, the Cronbach coefficient test results, and last but not least, the Pearson correlation results itself. I collected data from 100 respondents, which is my aim target is the aviation workers, either from the management and the technical or engineering job category. For the first pie chart, I did in this pie chart indicating the age of the respondent. Among 100 respondents from the survey, almost half of the respondents were females and the remaining half males. More of the respondents, 51.5% are females, and the other 48.5% of male. They did taking part in the research. Next, the pie chart 2. As you can see, the pie chart classified 100 respondents into 5 different age groups, which are below 20, from 21 until 30, from 31 until 40, from 41 until 50, and finally 51 and above. The highest your results percentage in this pie chart is from the group 21 until 30. And next, the third pie chart, this pie chart indicating the job category of the respondent. I did include 3 job categories, which are management, technical and engineering, and last but not least, I put others. Next, we move to mean score for the item statement. This is an indicator that I want to know how that I want to know the majority of respondent, which item statement that majority of respondent agree the most. There is 3 sections as I mentioned before. First, the first section is Industry 4.0 Innovation Industry itself. Secondly, the job description changes, and thirdly, the job evaluation changes. Most respondents that most respondents agree that the Industry 4.0 in aviation will increase demand for skilled workers. Employees will have to possess greater flexibility to adapt with the new rules, and the organization needs to invest more to provide step-by-step guidance training for the old employees. Here are some facts about the agreement of the respondent that I take from the chapter 2. For the first section, based on World Economic Forum on 2016, the development of technology will change the set of skills needed in both old and new jobs, requiring a new management understanding and new management regulation. As we already aware of the effect of the development of technology will lead to the emergence of new business and new professions, while also remove some of them. Employee will have to possess a greater flexibility to adapt to a new rules. Those who cannot catch up will risk their job. Either they will lose it, or they need to adapt with them. Lastly, the organization need to invest more to provide trainings based on Alluvial glue. A company with easy to change adapters will pass the challenge even before enter the competition, but will have from human resource they will need to redefine the mission, job description, and job evaluation. I now like to turn to the reliability test. I use Cronbach and alpha coefficient test. This test is concerned with whether the skills indicate is free from random error or not. According to Nunnally and De Vries, a minimal level of normal reliable value is 0.8, but the table shows that all the variables is reliable except for the industry 4.0 in aviation industry. This revealed a cashback value is 0.678 and which is 0.2 lower than the supposed value. Then in the variable I need to remove one item segment to make it more reliable. Then I move the item segment 5 with the help of to do more that I try one by one to know the right reliable to get the highest reliability. Let's continue to the highlight of the results. In this section, Pearson correlation test is being used to examine the relationship between the independent variable and dependent variables. Correlation coefficients are able to provide a numerical overview of the direction and strength of a linear relationship. So the range of the Pearson correlation test is -1 until to +1, which indicates the negative relationship and positive relationship. Okay, firstly, the relationship between Industry 4.0 in aviation and job description changes. The results of the correlation analysis with regression value is 0.97, indicates there's a strong relationship between both of the variables. From this, we can understand that the employee description will change. The workers will need to adapt with the changes in lots of ways, whether they want or not, but they need to. Also, robots and individual need to work together and be managed in a harmonious situation. Moreover, the capabilities required for digital conversion and Industry 4.0 will find it difficult to find and retain some talents. This is according to the Rosenberg. She says that automation grows as an opportunity. It should not be a threat for any workers. And the changes in the impact of Industry 4.0 in in job description, in the needs of job description changes is very important actually. The job description change creator need to include at least one industry 4.0 industry 4.0 skills. This competence is linked to the technologies, and it also depends on personal characteristic. In particular, the continuous improvement are averagely mastered at the higher level. The job description in the industry 4.0 are stronger on innovation and technology based skill. Actually, for the company, we have realized this both changes even in job description and job evaluation. The impact is not only for the operational workers. The impact should be for every level of workers, from the bottom to up, the hierarchy structure. Everyone needs to adapt with the changes, not only for the operational workers. The next, the relationship between Industry 4.0 in aviation and job evaluation changes is strong. The result of correlation is 0.98. In Industry 4.0, company must determine the results of the impact Industry 4.0 even on the job evaluation. They can do the job analysis in order to keep their employee on the track in following the trend of the technology. This trend became complex, especially when they related to the smart factory, to the new skills, and they also increasing the needs of highly skilled workers. Direct human resource needs to organize adaptation program to help the existing employees adapt to the new situation. Okay, for the conclusion, let me summarize all the flow of the thesis. In chapter 1, I did mention about my research question and research objective. My research objective is based on the framework, which are to examine the relationship between Industry 4.0 in aviation industry and the job description changes, and also to examine the relationship between Industry 4.0 in aviation and the job evaluation changes. Oh, record dah. Ada orang pun. As my results, I actually did get the final result of correlation test, and both of them have strong relationships. This means industry 4.0 give a major impact on the job description and job evaluation. As we all know, industry 4.0 is actually quite general, but I think this job description and job evaluation need to always change, even for actually 2 year or 1 year. The company need to update their job description. The company need to do job analysis in order to find to know the performance of workers, to decide their promotion or everything included. Last but not least, the recommendation for the future research. Actually, there is a lot of limitation in this thesis, since I cannot find the specific one because of the period of my period that given by the subject. We only have 6 months. Actually, it's not 6 months. It's 4 months to complete this, and it's because of due to COVID-19 and MCO, everything is out of control. But I know this is a good attempt for me for doing this and complete this. And here, for the future research, I would like to recommend the researcher to study about how to improve the development or construction of job description and job evaluation in aviation industry, because we all know that aviation industry is rapidly changes. And here I want they come up with some thesis or information that really give benefits to others. And I also want to go more further for this research, but that's all I can do for this, for the given period. And then I use the method of the test analysis, and maybe others can do another method, which is can use the qualitative. They can interview industry people to do the analysis. Maybe it's more correct or more accurate. Okay, here I would like to thank my assessor, Dr. Sailani and Dr. Idrus, and also my supervisor, Haji Zahir, and my lecturer that helped me in the research, Sir Hisham. And thank you for giving me this opportunity to learn a lot, and Alhamdulillah I will make it. when I went through a lot with this. Then that's all from me, and thank you. Assalamualaikum.